Welcome back to Reset. I'm your host, Ash Cam. Strap in. Today is a tale of pens, diamonds, Hailey Bieber, and what happens when you reach the top of the corporate ladder and decide to just quit your job and start a business in an industry you have absolutely no experience in. Layla, welcome to Reset.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Layla, when I first met you, you said to me, Ash, one day I want to start my own business. Not sure what it's going to be, not sure how, but it's going to happen.
Yes.
You did that 10 months ago.
I did.
For anyone that's learning about Dr. Diamond for the first time, can you explain to us in a sentence what your business is?
Of course. So Dr. Diamond is essentially an instant diamond cleaning pen, is our main hero product right now. But the business Dr. Diamond is elevated jewellery care. So what we're doing is we are trying to dominate the whole jewellery care industry. So the jewellery industry is a $300 billion industry. And I'm sure you probably couldn't think of anyone who's like doing the cleaning aspect top of mind. So I was like, we all can think of Windex for cleaning windows, Kleenex for tissues, but we can't even think of something to clean our jewellery with, but we wear it every single day. So that's what Dr. Diamond's doing.
So good. How did you deal with the sort of probably inner dialogue, but also outer dialogue from people around you being like, hang on, wait, you have peaked in your career and you're about to quit, throw it all away and start a business with pens, essentially. Yeah. Like you're starting a pen business.
I know. And sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? This is so silly. Like, am I okay? I'll be honest. I think I have very strong inner dialogue. And I think I've always known, even when you might think you're at like the pinnacle, like the top of my corporate ladder, I was like, no, I can always push further. And I think in everything, even when you think you're maybe at your peak, there's always a little bit further to go. So I always felt like growing up in a family where business was really important and where I grew up watching my mom and my dad, my grandparents run businesses. I knew what that kind of step looked like and I knew that I wanted to have that for myself. So that was always something I wanted to do. And then the outer dialogue was actually a lot louder than my inner dialogue, which is sometimes the opposite way, but I have the most incredible supportive network. So there was more my friends being like, when it was a concept, they're like, quit now and just do it. I'm like, that's not how this works. So I think just having the most incredible support system, plus having so much faith in myself, like I always believe it's only up to me. And I know that I can push myself to do anything. So I think everything was like really positive. But then sometimes, you know, when you are in your down moments, I'm like, I'm selling a jewellery cleaning pen. Like, what am I doing? And then I'll get like a review come through and it'll be like really sentimental. Someone saying that like they have inherited their grandma's piece of jewellery and they were able to clean it and they feel like they're more connected with her and it feels restored and like new again. And I'm like, okay, I know it sounds so dramatic for a cleaning pen, but like it really does tap into those parts of people's lives. So it makes it worthwhile.
I love that. And not everyone listening would have that supportive community around them necessarily. And so I think hopefully anyone listening today that is in a corporate job or maybe a business that they've outgrown and they're wanting to pivot and start again and do something fresh, hopefully they can feel the energy from this conversation and then start to use that as fuel.
Definitely. And I think even if you don't have that, like that community around you, it's like you've got to find it in yourself. And something that I actually always used to think is like, would I prefer to have the unknown of like never starting it, or would I prefer to go through all the pain of starting a business and figuring out that? And it's like I just could never live with myself if I hadn't taken that journey. So the discomfort felt way more comfortable to me than actually staying comfortable.
So good, so good. And you've done some pretty interesting, crazy, maybe slightly unhinged things to build this brand, which I have just loved watching on social media. Something that comes top of mind for me is the story with Hailey Bieber. Can you share for everyone what you did?
Of course. So I think there's a few things that pull this story together. I think manifestation is definitely one of them. And then just having balls to action it is another big part.
That's the key. That's the key
thing. But long story short, we are from the Gold Coast, but we were in Sydney for a friend's wedding around the Valentine's Day weekend. And my husband was so hell-bent on taking us out for like a romantic Valentine's Day lunch or dinner. So he looked up romantic restaurants in Sydney, and then this restaurant, Neptune's Grotto, had come up. He calls, makes a reservation. The only thing they have available is 2:30, such a random time of day. And then we're like, yep, sure, let's do that. So beforehand at 2:00, we go to Mecca and we go to buy some of the Rhodes skincare because I love using the Rhodes skincare randomly. And we're standing in line and I said to Matt, I have Hailey's products in my hands every single day. Imagine if one day I can get my product in Hailey's hands. Like, that would be crazy. He goes, you can make anything happen. He's like, I trust you that you'll be able to make this happen. I was like, yeah, we'll see. Literally half an hour later, we walked to our reservation. We walked down into this restaurant and it's completely empty. And there's just two businessmen having a meeting in the corner. And then there's Hailey Bieber and her whole team sitting there. And I was like, this cannot be real. Like, this is insane. I was like, well, I've just manifested it. I had asked for it. So now it's only up to me to now action this.
Yes.
So we sit there, the security approaches us and says, just so you know, we have a high profile client here. You can't take any photos. And we were like, yep, no problem. I said, but when she leaves, can I say hi? Can I talk to her? He said, no worries, you can't touch her and you can't take a photo of her. I said, no worries, I'm not planning on kissing her. So
yeah.
we're fine. So then we're sitting there. I am head noising. I'm like, this whole lunch, someone would have thought Matt and I were fighting. So I'm just silent and I'm just like cutting into like my food, not even eating. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? What am I going to say? Like, how am I going to really like capture her attention? Sure enough, she ends up like leaving. She's beelining for the door. She knows how to get from A to B, that's for sure. She's like running out the door. And I'm like, Hailey, I just wanted to say massive fan of you and your skincare. She was like, thanks, and kept walking. I was like, also, I just want to give you this. And I hold up the Dr. Diamond pen. Now, the Dr. Diamond is a shiny pen in like a silver box. This is the definition also of like good packaging and like shiny object syndrome. It catches her eye. She then turns around and walks back and stands at our table. And she's like, what is it? And I was like, oh, it's like an instant diamond cleaning pen. I didn't fumble. I don't know what happened. Someone took over and I was just like I got this pitching mode. I was like, it's an instant diamond cleaning pen. And she was like, wait, can you see this little bit of dirt under here? Like, I can never get it out. I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, it's literally just like a brush. I explained to her how it works. You twist the base, formulation comes out, you brush, put it underwater, brand new again. And she was like in awe. She goes, I need this in my handbag. She goes, I don't mean to be rude, but do you mind if I take it, if I put it in my handbag? I said, girl, of course. I'm like, you're going to need 10 of the pens for that ring, but sure. So I give her the pen and she goes, thank you so much. So nice to meet you. Love the concept, puts in her handbag, walks away. The security then comes up to my husband and said, what was that? What did she just take? She never takes product from people. She must have really liked it. Well done. And I was like, this is crazy.
Were you just floating on air
I was like having an out-of-body experience. I know it sounds so lame, but I was like, this is incredible. So then I just picked up my phone. I just started filming my reaction post meeting her because she's like left at that time. And I was like, oh my God, this is what's just happened. Originally, it was just made for my girlfriends. I was like, guys, look what's happened. And then I just kind of kept rumbling on in this video, show Mac's reaction. We're just having a really live moment that I captured on camera. Then that was it. Now, no one at my job at the time had known that I had a business. So I didn't really know what to do. And I was like, I could put this on TikTok. And I was like, do you know what? It's not going to go far. It's TikTok, like it might get 1,000 views if that. So I put it on TikTok. My face is in the front of this video. And then 7 million views later, our business changed overnight.
Absolutely wild.
It was crazy.
Absolutely wild. And I'm sure since then, lots of people have told you, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky. But I think luck is preparation, hard work, and like you said, the balls to do something when it all comes together. And
Definitely.
so talk to us about what you did after the 7 million views and your business blowing up. Like, how did you keep this going? Talk to me about the strategy. And
Well, I think a lot of the strategy of my next few videos, I knew at the time was maybe going to go somewhere. I don't know what had taken over, but in the restaurant at that time, I had filmed, this is what I've just done. I filmed a demo video. I had filmed quite a few videos in the restaurant with that same kind of lighting. So I then was like posting those, and then it was very much, all right, can we run with this this tagline, the jewellery cleaner in Hailey Bieber's handbag. So that was something, because obviously that's true. That's exactly what's happened. And then from there it went crazy. So it was definitely like reaching out to retailers, being like, hey, this is a product in Hailey Bieber's handbag. This is our video. There was a lot of that went on. And then we had a lot of retailers coming to us. And then it was more just connecting with our community off the back of that. So we then instantly grew really fast on our social media, and then had a lot of people messaging us, and we had a lot of people trying the product. Now, this is why it's important to have a really good product, because as soon as it had eyes to it, Hailey's not in the video. She's not even commented on the video, but we had over 200 orders within 24 hours. So you best believe mum, my grandparents, my siblings, everyone's there packing orders with us. So they had all ordered. And then once they got their pens, it was very much that they all loved it. And then the video started speaking for themselves. So we did a lot on our end to continue the momentum, and posting and showing up, I think was the biggest thing, because people will see it once.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, okay, cool, keep going. But it's like that repetition of like, what is this? Like, what's this product? How does it work? Maybe seeing my face. So we really pushed on that. And luckily it's really paid off.
Oh my God. And you launched quite premium from the start. So every single touch point. I remember being in an event where we got the diamond cleaning pen, but we also had like the handwritten note and the wax seal and the envelope and stuff like that. And anyone that goes on your Instagram or your TikTok, we'll link it in the show notes. They'll get to see that.
Yeah.
But talk to me about what was running through your head when you kind of came up with this idea, was ready to go with it, and then building out the whole, like, I guess, customer experience, because there's not a store necessarily that people are getting it. It's an online order typically. So
definitely.
What was running through your head?
I'll be honest, we started the business with $20,000. So that was an incredible amount of money. I feel so blessed that we were able to start with that much, but I didn't have it. That was all just for inventory. That was just for just for the 15,000 units we had. But with that, I think it's like 10,000 units. But with that, I didn't have a graphic designer. I couldn't have anything like that. So I really pulled it back and I thought, what do I want to touch and feel? What do I think is quality? What do I want to see? What am I drawn to? So I really just took back. I went off Pinterest. I got off TikTok. I got off Instagram. I got off all of those platforms that really inspire my creative process. And I just tapped into what I liked.
Yeah.
And from that's where I went. So it's like, I like to feel something that's really premium. If I'm feeling packaging, I'd like it to feel like it's a solid GSM and it's a nice thickness. I like the embossing on it. Like it's all those little moments that I just thought, what do I find quality in? And then I'm sure someone else will find quality in that as well. And then the handwritten note idea actually came from my sister's partner, Alex. He was telling me about a online order he'd once made, and he got a handwritten note from the owner, and he talks about it all the time. And I used to be like, Alex, you're always talking about this like handwritten note. And then I was like, hold on, there's something in this.
There's something in this.
He remembered it, and then I really wanted to tap into that for our audiences to feel the same way when they received their orders.
Yeah.
So everything was just based off a feeling. I wanted everyone to feel connected to the brand through the handwriting. I wanted people to feel connected to the product through the pristine packaging and the quality of every single touch point. So it's very much just, so what would you want to feel? I took all money out of it.
Yeah.
If we had to pay more for boxes, I'll pay more. If we had to, if it's really ridiculous to be doing these like handwritten cards, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as our customers are having the most beautiful connecting experience, that's all that matters for me.
And first impressions count for a new brand, especially if you want the repeat orders and the posts and the word of mouth and all of that.
Yeah.
What other marketing activities have you done? I know for anyone that follows you, they're probably aware that you've showed up at different events and there's probably some influences and some gifting and things in there, but like talk to us.
A few things we've done. So gifting was definitely a big thing. I was very much like, I would love to gift you this product. If you love it, please feel free to post it. We actually haven't invested in any influencer marketing. It's all been completely just us sending people product. And then if they wanted to post it, they would, which was so surreal because every day it's like this person's tagged you, this person's tagged you. It's interesting seeing how it goes into their everyday routine, now cleaning their jewellery, which hasn't been a seen concept before. So that was definitely something that's really important, because if someone saw the initial Hailey Bieber video, they've then gone on our website, they're still skeptical, but then they're seeing this person who they trust online posting us. It's just all those touch points coming together. So gifting's definitely been a big thing. And then slowly getting into those retail stores to have that bit of trust and presence so people can experience it in real life. As soon as you try it, you buy it. It's honestly just hilarious because it's such instant results, which is so beautiful. But I knew that would also build trust within customers. But one of the biggest things we've done is we showed up to Fashion Week. So still being such a new brand, we don't have a crazy marketing budget. We can't be, paying for all these activations or anything. So I thought, what's the most cost-effective thing I can do? Get myself a flight to Sydney and show up myself and just start cleaning people's jewellery. All it costed me was my flight to Sydney.
Yeah.
So I did that. I went and found the brightest jacket I could, which was this Decuba fluffy blue jacket, because I thought I want people to remember the content, remember the jacket. Let's like associate the few together. And then I just rocked up to one of the shows that I knew where all the influencers were going to. Yeah. I got fully dressed up and I just walked around and I started cleaning people's jewellery. I had a content creator come, she took videos and then just posting them. And that just drove a whole new part of the business as well. Now people are like, oh my gosh, you guys are the people, you're the girl that goes around and cleans famous people's jewellery. I'm like, sure.
Sure, yeah, I am now.
Like, and then it's like, I didn't realize that was a pillar. So now my brain goes, okay, what's the next fashion week? Right, New York Fashion Week. Where can I find these other people? Yeah. Where can I keep this momentum? So there's some of the ways we've shown up, and I love figuring out new ways. And it's like, how can you do it that's memorable?
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
I feel like so many founders are trying to be the face of their brand now, whether they were in the past or not. I think there's been a big push towards that. Not everyone does it well. You are just nailing it.
Oh. Thank you. I don't feel it. It's funny. I every day just have this little like pit in my stomach where I'm like, I need to post more. So I haven't felt like I've shown up as much as I would love to, because there's actually so much behind the brand that I could speak to that I haven't quite figured out how to. But when you're figuring out new product development and then finance and accounting, you're doing everything on your own. Sometimes posting a TikTok is the last thing on your mind, but it's the reason why I'm in this seat today. So it is very important.
Yeah. Talk to us about some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes and what does the Dr. Diamond team currently look like? I know your family are just rallying behind you to make it happen. Yeah, what's the support team look like?
Honestly, it's probably my favorite question. I'm very blessed to have the team that I do have, which all comes down to my family. So my mum is probably the heart and soul of this business. So mum, for anyone who doesn't know, we actually still hand fill all of our pens, which is crazy. So for the scale that we're at now, we're going to have to figure out those processes, but quality is really important for us.
Just imagining your dining table with the 20,000 pens on it.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a dining table. There's a heap of Lebanese food in the corner. I've got my 12-year-old cousins. I've got my aunties, my uncles. Everyone finishes work. They come over to the house and we're all just filling, which is crazy. But it's adorable. So my mum is like the head of the filling side.
Head of logistics, I think.
Head of logistics, exactly. So she's got this WhatsApp group. She's like, guys, we need all hands on deck. Everyone come, we're filling pens. So my mum really runs that whole part of the business, which is incredible. So then she also helps pack our orders. So we're now going to be moving our warehouse to her house. It's currently in our spare bedroom of our small apartment, which is really cute. And then my grandfather packs all of the boxes. So all the boxes are quite fiddly to pack. Yeah. So he'll sit and he'll pack all of them. He's got such amazing attention to detail. My grandma, she models for all of our campaigns. So she's the face of the business. My grandma is my soulmate, Tata. Her and I are best friends. So she's a really big part of that as well. My uncle, he shoots all our campaigns. My other auntie, she models in them. My brother came up with the name Dr. Diamond. My sister helped me write the copy. Matt, my husband, is the doctor, hence Dr. Diamond. Thought that was a funny play on words. So I really couldn't do it without my whole support system. If I'm ever away, we need orders filled. My best friend who's pregnant, she's there packing with Matt. So yeah, it's amazing. There's a lot of us that goes on behind the scenes, but it's all done out of love. And I think it's provide a lot of purpose for the family in different ways. My grandpa, we call him Jiddu. He goes and plays bowls and he'll cook at home. But then this is another little bit of purpose for him as well, because I need him. This business doesn't operate if he's not there helping us. So that's been really special to feel everyone feel a bit of that as well.
And it must be really surreal for them as well to see, 7 million people have seen this product online, or I know that you're launching internationally. Can you talk to us about, again, within 10 months, this has gone from no one ever hearing of Dr. Diamond or cleaning their jewelry to just blowing up at an international level. Yeah. How are you doing that? Is it partnerships? Is it you guys, what's it like?
Well, we've had over 20,000 customers so far, which is insane in a 10-month period. Yeah. So that's been really surreal for us. And they've mainly all been in Australia. So we've just been focusing on that market, clearly because I am very much doing this, like the most of the operations as a bit of a one-man band, especially, you know, I have all my family, but I do the day-to-day. So I was like, let me just focus on Australia first. But then there was natural demand that grew internationally. So the UAE, massive market for us. I haven't even tapped into it, but they love to order. The US, massive market naturally. New Zealand's become a big market. Then we had a really big moment with Thailand, which was so surreal. So we got messaged by this incredible jewellery brand, S Manipad, and they were like, we'd love to bring Dr. Diamond to Thailand. I was like, sure, like go for it. And like, no, we want to like host a massive event with you guys. Like, can you come to Thailand? I was like, yeah, sure. And then everyone's like, Layla, you don't know these people. Are you okay? I was like, whatever, go.
I'm going to Thailand.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, surprise, we're going to Thailand. So I get Mum and I flights to Thailand and we head over there having never met these people in our life. Turned out to be one of the most insane experiences. I think it's really important to follow your gut. And I had a good gut feeling about this. And we were just brought so heavily into this Thai culture. We understand now a whole new Thai market. We had a big event. And it's just interesting to hear and see other people experience it in real life who have never experienced a product like this before. So I'm really just naturally following people who are gravitating towards the product. But at the same time, I have a lot of expansion plans that I'm really excited to activate over the next few months as well. So yeah, a lot of expansion coming, but a lot that's naturally happened. That's really cool too.
And you partner with some of Australia's leading jewellery brands as well.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about how they're helping you grow.
Yeah, so that's amazing. It all comes down to that touch point of people getting to experience a product in real life. So By Charlotte was a really cool moment for us. So a few months prior to launching in By Charlotte, Matt and I went to the Paddington store and I said, we're walking out and I said, Matt, one day we'll get in By Charlotte. Like the first piece of jewellery he ever bought me was By Charlotte. It was a very sentimental brand to us. So then we reached out to them the same day we had reached out to one person in their team. A different person in their team reached out to us saying we'd love to stock Dr. Diamond. It was crazy. We're
you can't script this
I know.
stuff.
I was like, this is the best. I've got all the screenshots. I need to TikTok on it. But it was so special. So that's been a really great touch point for people to build brand trust. So it can just be an online product. You don't really know if you trust it or not. Then it's in By Charlotte, which is such a respected jewellery brand in Australia. And then people can experience it. So I've made sure any jeweler we go into, there has to be a testing station. I don't want anyone just buying the product blind. I want you to feel it, experience it, and I know you'll love it, which is why I'm fine for that to be there.
Yeah.
So that's what people can do in those stores. So now we've launched into 45 retailers around Australia in the past few months. Which is just so many more touch points, more accessibility. Jewellery care should be accessible. There's no reason why it shouldn't be accessible. So by launching with these retailers, it definitely helps that.
Yeah. It sounds like so many things have gone well along the way and you've trusted your gut and your intuition. You've leaned into those. Is there anything that hasn't gone to plan?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, always. I think the biggest thing would be we couldn't forecast the success we've had. And I think back to hand filling, you have a product that goes viral overnight and then you have a few more videos that go viral in these moments. And it is up to literally myself, my mum and my team of family behind us to get these orders out. So I think the supply chain part has been really interesting to navigate. And I think we've all been really humble about it at the start, just being, oh no, like it's just a small brand. But then as it gets bigger, I'm like, no, it's going to start impacting our, our community and our customers if we can't get this product out to them on time. So that's definitely been a bit of a scary part is like, okay, who can we trust to fill these pens? Who can we trust to make sure that it's like the right quantities are going in it? And it sounds silly, but like there's a little white bit on the cap. Is it all the way down? Like there are these things I want to make sure everyone has the most perfect experience. So that's probably been a little bit tough. And then there's your classic things you don't know until you start a business, like shipping and like, do you pay at the port and all these things? And like Matt and I accidentally spent $5,000 because we didn't know how to ship properly. So all those things have been really interesting, but probably on a more emotional level would be figuring out how to run a business and like uphold like a marriage and those kind of things, which is like, Matt and I do a lot together, which is so beautiful. And you go from talking about just like your relationship and life, and then it's talking about business. So it's like just trying to navigate those relationships. And it's been the most growing thing for us, which has been amazing, but it's definitely something to navigate for sure.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it without him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Love you.
you'd never been a founder before, and starting your own business is no easy feat. And I think most businesses do not succeed. So it's a win, the fact that anyone's buying your product and the fact that it's like ended up in Hailey Bieber's handbag, like all these things are incredible. But for anyone that's sitting in a corporate role right now and has this niggling of, I wish I could start my own business one day, but I don't know if I want to start from scratch. Talk to me about transferable skills, because I know that just because someone's never started their own business before doesn't mean that they don't have a million transferable skills and can't learn as they go and can't pull together a network. But what sort of transferable skills do you think you pulled from your previous
Definitely.
career?
Great question. I think firstly, if you are considering starting a business or not, I always go off this framework, and it's like, will I regret doing this or will I regret not doing this? And there's always an answer. That's always like, I'll be more likely to regret doing it or not doing it. And I think like for me, I would always have regretted not doing a business rather than doing it, because at least you can do it and you can try.
Yeah.
So ask yourself that question, where you'd be more likely to lean towards, and then know if you should take the next step. You can try and get all of the skills in the world. I was so blessed with the job that I had at High Smile, what I headed up the people and culture team, which was phenomenal. And I learned so much there, of course, but also you're not learning as much until you're actually on the ground doing it. So I think the most transferable skill is like your own like tenacious behaviors or like pushing yourself. And honestly, your network is your net worth. And I could not believe that more. And from the way the business has grown is also because of the amazing people that we have in our corner. So yeah, I think transferable skills would just be your own internal behaviors. Learn as much as you can around you, but make sure you're connecting with the right people.
And I'm going to say, I personally think the answer is yes to this question, but I'm curious what you
now
think.
I'm interested.
Do you think there's actually a competitive advantage of diving into an industry that you have never been in before?
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't know. And I think the less you know, the better. What's that Tame Impala song? I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Like, less I know, the better. I don't know the jewellery industry from a bar of soap. And I think that's why it's almost working well, because I don't have this preconceived, like, it has to be this or it has to be that. There's an important element of educating yourself.
Correct.
I really don't agree with people who go into a space where they haven't educated themselves enough. So we educate ourselves on like what's good for jewelry, what's good for diamonds, what will affect your diamonds or your jewelry, how often should you use them. You know, you do all of that research, but that's all we'd known. I didn't have any preconceived ideas of what jewelry cleaning was. I think that's why I had the balls to go, all right, let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I 100% think there's such an advantage. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
I'm glad we're on the same page. And for anyone listening that's thinking, oh, I have no experience in that industry, like, lean into that because you see things from a completely different perspective.
100%.
And you're not kind of constrained to, oh, well, we were taught it was this way or we've always done it this way. And it's like, okay, well, let's shake things up. And then suddenly you're going to stand out.
Exactly. And then you're like, let's do it differently, because you don't have a preconceived idea like I have to do it this way. So I couldn't agree more. Definitely on the same page there.
How did you know that it was an idea worth pursuing? I know we talked already about, you know, you had a strong internal dialogue, you had a really beautiful network around you, but what's your advice to the woman that's kind of got all these different business ideas on her notes app and she's thinking, I want to start one of them, but I don't know which one.
Yeah.
How do you choose?
I think it's like, what's the one that you would want the most? That leans me back into that comment about what packaging would I want to see. I think you can do anything so strongly, so passionately if you want it yourself. And I think the story of how Dr. Diamond came about is I took my ring in to get cleaned and it took 2 weeks. I didn't have it back in time for my bridal shower and I was devastated. I was like, this is the most important time in my life, but also why is my ring taking 2 weeks to get cleaned? So I called the jewelry store and I said, is there any better way I can clean it at home? And they said, there's no products, but maybe like a dish soap and a toothbrush. I said, a $25,000 ring and you want me to use dish soap and a toothbrush? I'm making something better. Like and then boom, that was the moment. I was like, there's a gap in the market. I want this product that I'm looking for that I can't find. And also I want it to feel good. I want it to look pretty. I want it to be cute. Let's call it, beauty care, right? Let's make it fall into that category. And then that's how it came about. So I think with myself, it was like, it's something that I wanted. Therefore I was like, if I felt this gap, then I call my girlfriends. Guys, how would you clean your ring? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, great. We speak to Matt. We like make up this formula together. We work with different R&D professionals, put it all together, jewelers. then I give it to my girlfriends. Like now I can't live without it. And then you get addicted to having a clean ring because you're like, now I know that's an option.
Yeah.
And then everyone wanted it. And then I think that's just when you realize if I wanted it, I'm sure other people do. I have gone into the business that way. I didn't go in being like, I want to start a business. What should I start? I went in from being like, what's a problem that I can solve myself? And I think that's a different little space to be in, and it gets that real fire in your belly. And that's when on the dark days, back when we wouldn't even get a single sale in a day, it's like, no, I know this is something though because I wanted this particular product. I think that's what keeps you going as well.
I love that quote, create the things you wish existed.
Yeah. 100%. Like you can do it. If someone else isn't doing it, that's okay. You can do it yourself. And now I get everyone going, I wish I thought of that. Or like, how did I not come up with this? Or someone said to me, this feels like the invention of the tea bag. Like, duh. Like, this is so smart. And I'm like, yeah.
That's your new slogan. It's not as seen in Hailey Bieber's handbag.
No. It's like
the tea bag of the diamond industry.
Literally.
Oh
So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
How did it feel to receive your first order from a complete stranger?
This is funny. Can I tell a quick story?
Please.
So it was launch night. My friend Mel asked me the other day, what was the best day or moment of your life? And it was actually, this was one of them, and it was launch night, and you put so much into this business and you're like, all right, let's see how it goes. My grandparents came over with all the big Lebanese food. My aunties came over. My siblings drove from Brisbane. We're all sitting in our tiny apartment together. We press live. And we're like, all right. And then next minute, we're like sitting there nervously waiting for our first sale. We hear cha-ching. We start screaming like, oh my God, it's happening. And then it was one of my friends from work. I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. Like, love that. Like, thanks, Mads, you're the best. And then we like kind of wait. And then we had a few come through and we're like, oh my God, this is really cool. It's really exciting. Now that was obviously so surreal and amazing. The funniest moment though is we had nothing for like an hour. We were sitting there a bit like, oh. Next minute we get a cha-ching. We all throw our hands up. We start screaming. I look in the corner. My grandma's pissing herself laughing. Her shoulders are going crazy. She's like on her phone. The name pops up, Mona Garaeb. Yeah. I'm like, Tate's has just ordered. Like again, this was her 5th order from the night, may I tell you. Anytime there was like a silence and like we weren't getting orders, she just put another one through because she loved seeing us so excited.
That is the hype girl that you want.
That was. And she just thought it was hilarious because we'd all scream and cheer and it's just her again. I'm like, I'm going to have to refund you for all these. So that was honestly more memorable to me because I thought that was just hilarious. But when you get, I think the biggest thing though was when we got our first review because it's like someone might receive their order and that's amazing, but I wanted to know what people thought about it, like how they felt about it. And when we get like people send us their engagement photos and like, look how, shiny my ring looks. That's when we were like, wow, like other people love this product. We all love it. And I think making sure people loved it was the most rewarding part for us. So it was the step further than the order. It was how they felt when they received it, which was really special.
That is really special.
Yeah.
How do you do anything to proactively encourage people to leave reviews? Because I know there's so many products I love and I'm not going to go and leave a review. Life is busy. So is there anything you do from a business perspective?
Great question. No, I probably should. We definitely do have we have email flows that go out. We actually haven't even we haven't set this up, but there was a plugin in Shopify where it just says, do you want to leave a review? It's not even like Dr. Diamond branded. It's just a plugin. So I should get onto that. But the amount we've got over like 150 just completely organic reviews. And they've all been 5-star, which is actually really cool. We kind of like wait for those, like the bad ones to come in. There's nothing, like great result. So yeah, we haven't even been pushing, which I would love to see what would happen if we did. But at the same time, that little part of me goes, if someone wants to say something about it, they will. And they do. And often people share their stories and like what it cleaned for them. We got a beautiful email of this lady tapping into like the history of her grandma's ring and why it's important it's restored. It's her last memory she has of her. So when we get those personal emails, that really strikes a chord with us. It's beautiful.
That's so beautiful. And it doesn't just clean diamonds. What other stones can it clean?
Yeah, so it can clean any gemstone above a 6 on the Mohs hardness scale, which is pretty much all of your gemstones. The only thing I wouldn't recommend cleaning it on would be pearls and opals, just because they are a bit softer, and you wouldn't want it to damage them. Not that I think it would, but you just want to be safe. But it honestly cleans anything, whether it's even lab grown, moissanite, emerald. It can take care of all of it for you. And then we also are about to be coming out with a gold and silver cleaner. So you hear it here first.
Hey.
But something that specializes in those metals for anyone who might not have any stones or gemstones or diamonds. So yeah, we want to just really own that whole jewelry care industry. And that's how we'll do it.
What has surprised you most about yourself since becoming a founder?
I think that there's this saying, I'm proud, but I'm never satisfied. And I'm actually really proud of myself. And I think that I've always been really hard on myself. So I didn't expect to feel the amount of pride that I do feel, which I think is a nice position to be in. I feel proud, but I'm not satisfied yet. I've got so much more that I want to achieve and so much further I want to take this. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling very proud. I've learned a lot about what I like and what I don't like, and then how to push through the things that I don't like, because I'm the only one that's going to do it. I don't have a team anymore to say, all right, you do the design, you do this. Like, that's on me.
Yeah.
So I think learning that, I'm still trying to figure out how to delegate and how to ask people for help. But yeah, I think the thing that has surprised me the most is that I can be really proud of myself, and that pride comes from when I'm pushing myself and creating something for myself. So I don't know if that's a bit of a corny answer, but I definitely feel proud.
No, I like that. And I think that hunger for anyone that's entrepreneurial, it never actually goes away. And that's what keeps people showing up.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
The blessing and a curse.
Yeah, 100. Oh, that's it. Every day I'm like, I'm not doing enough. And people are like, do you stop? You're doing so much. I'm like, it's never enough. Yeah, definitely a blessing and a curse.
Layla, if we were having this conversation in 5 years' time, what would you be telling me Dr. Diamond is up to?
Dr. Diamond is owning the whole jewellery care space. When the aunties are sitting having a dinner together and they go, how should we clean our jewellery? That Dr. Diamond is a household name, and that everyone leans towards the product because they trust that it's an incredible product, and then they love how it makes them feel. They love how it sits in their cabinets. I really, really hope that I know we will be just dominating the whole jewellery care space, and that it will be top of mind. It will remain as an amazing gift for people who just get engaged. But yeah, it'll hopefully be one of the household names, and it feels like a very accessible product, as jewellery care should be.
Yeah, beautiful. Things just keep working out on the outside, at least for Dr. Diamond. How do you keep showing up and keep going as someone that is quite hard on themselves if things aren't perfect? When things don't go to plan, how do you re-energize yourself and how do you move forward?
Yeah, I have this conversation with Matt a lot. And for me, there's never winning or losing, or there's never we failed at that. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's you win or you learn. And I think that's really important. Anytime something hasn't gone to plan, I'm not like, oh my gosh, end of the world, this didn't go to plan. I'm like, no, this is the best thing that could have happened because we've learned from it now. And it's I think whether it's starting a business, it doesn't feel like it's going to plan. It's okay, no, you're learning that maybe that didn't work, but how can you pivot? And I think if you keep getting upset on yourself and being down upon yourself, then you're never going to get anywhere, and you're just going to build this little dark pit inside of you. But if you keep going, no, thank God we made that bold decision because we just learnt off the back of it. That's what really keeps me going. And that's what almost makes me celebrate. I almost celebrate more when we absolutely cook the chook, on, spending too much money on shipping or little problems that we've had. I go, thank God we're learning now.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that could have happened to us. So just looking at that mindset, or winning or learning, I think is really, really important.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to resonate with a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, I hope so, because that's how it keeps me going. And then you just don't need to be so hard on yourself.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Exactly. And I think you could sit in your room and plan the quote unquote perfect business, perfect launch, perfect everything. And by the time you go to hit go, you're too late anyway. So
100%.
You learn by doing, and
100%.
Confidence and clarity comes again from the doing and taking action.
Yeah.
And I think that as an entrepreneur can almost be this addictive rush of okay, I'm building the plane while learning to fly kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's what's fun is you can pivot as much as you want to. But then if you're I pivoted in the wrong direction, it's just as quickly as you went that direction, you can go this direction.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to play it too safe, because then you're not being memorable. It could have been a pretty big waste of money for us to do the Fashion Week thing in terms of getting the flights down to Sydney and then putting myself out there. It could be embarrassing as well. Embarrassing feels like a bit of a cost, but no, it's you take the plunge, you go in, and then it all will work out if you back yourself, or you'll learn from it.
Yeah. And I guess that's a nice reminder for anyone sitting behind their computer at home with a product-based business or a service-based business and thinking, I'm just going to spend a little bit more on ads because that's comfortable and that's easy and it's targeted. But maybe spend that money on the flight.
Yeah.
Or as you say, like the cost of
Yeah.
success is sort of putting yourself out there and
Exactly.
taking a risk, and maybe no one will watch the video,
Yeah.
or maybe 7 million people will.
You never know. That's what I say. I say like embarrassment is the key to success. My friends always laugh at me because I'm not shy to just go out and do something crazy, because I'm like, this could end up really cool, guys, or I could be so embarrassed, but that's just like a feeling, and like that's okay. Like we can push past that.
And then it's a good story.
It's a good do it for the plot. Anytime something goes crazy, I'm like, I did it for the plot.
Did it for the plot.
Exactly. It's so important.
Layla, it's been so fun to have you here in the studio with me. Is there anything you want to leave listeners with? Any words of encouragement or advice if someone's sort of reached a peak of their career that maybe they love their job, maybe they hate their job, but they're just looking for change?
I think the biggest thing, like I said, is it's up to you. So it's like if you have that little thing that you're like, I would regret doing this or I wouldn't regret doing this. It's like, what's that one thing that you just know you need to give it a try, and there's no other option for you. And I think if you feel that in your belly, like there's no other option for me but to try start a business. It's like, go ahead and do it. No one else is going to come in and do it for you. No one else is going to come and email you back, hey, do you want to start a business, or do you want to go ahead and do that thing you've always wanted to do?
Yeah.
It's up to you to make it happen. It can feel scary. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people who really support you and bring you up to do that. And if people aren't doing that, then definitely just
get some new friends.
Let's step away from those people. So yeah, I think it's up to you. Push yourself to it, but be proud of yourself. Like that's the one thing I'm always like, do it, push yourself, but be so proud of what you're doing as well. I think that's really important, and that's what helps you keep going even further.
Beautiful. Layla, thanks for joining me at Reset.
Thank you for having me. I've loved it.